All right, I'm Pops, and yes, welcome back. Kata is back. I know who knew that in the age of all of this stuff with nostalgia, what we want, what we don't want, we'd actually get some really interesting news. So I'm going to ready to talk about it right now. I know, welcome back. Carter is back. And what do I mean by that? DVD release. That's right, a complete series release of this 1970s comedy show. Warner sent me this to screen. It's been really fun revisiting this show. I do think that some of it may be free over on Tubi. You free to check that out for yourselves. I don't know for sure. I can just say, growing up on this show was always fun and clever. And especially as I got older, I really appreciate the diversity of the cast and the diversity of the thought. Like it was always about this push pull thing between Carter and these kids, these Sweathogs, right? And the Sweathogs are the delinquent kids. They're not going to study. They're on the track to be problem kids. They don't want to do this. They don't want to do that. And even the principal, he's played up as this, stoggy old man who really has given up hope on these kids and teaching in general. And Carter is there working with each of them. And the cast is fantastic. Obviously, John Travolta gets a lot of the press because this is his first big TV role, and it's this long, famous career that he ends up having. He does look a little old for the character. It looks ridiculous, believing that he's actually a high school kid. He looks well into his 20s. He's huge, giant man compared to some of the other people on the show. And there's all these great moments that they kind of layer together over the years where it's like Boom Boom Washington, the black kid, dude. It's like I wants to be a basketball star. I wants to go to the NBA. He's going to be a star, but it's like always like Carter's the one. It's like the voice of reason. Like, dude, yes, you're cool and you're good and whatever, but let's hedge your bet a little bit. Let's make sure that you've got a plan if that doesn't work out, right?
Hi there. Washington, Freddie, Boom Boom,
Epstein,
Washington.
who's like the bully, which is kind of weird because he's this little tiny dude. But it's played for laughs, right? Because it's like this Spanish Jewish kid with this long Spanish name, Epstein, and the jokes are made about being a Jew. Oh, no, it's my dad's name, blah blah blah. So there's always fun levity at all of it. And again, Ron Palillo, who plays Horshack, he's the kid that most people remembered and were the big deal when I was a kid. Like the raising of your hand, the ooh, pick me, Mr. Cotter, pick me, and it's that snorty laugh that he does, which is basically iconic.
Oh, 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 oh!
So let me get to the press release. The press release basically is talking about welcome back, being back. It's the first time that we have these 95 episodes on this DVD release that we can get right now. I think there have been other releases. So I'm not totally sure of what the dynamics are between this release and some of the others. But this is a show that ran for a few years in the 1970s. It was Emmy Award nominated for its outstanding comedy work. It's really, really good to see Carter open and close every episode with these sort of jokes. They're kind of like they're not dad jokes. They kind of play a little bit of the clever. It's more like that. Have I ever told you the story of dot 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 type humor, and it's really fun. It's really smart and funny. It's never raunchy humor. They get into everything you can imagine of high school teens. And I realize now watching it, I've watched several episodes now, and I was like, wow, they are really teaching kids stuff. Like I think kids now need to learn. Like, hey, listen, this is how politics work. Because in this episode where Travolta's Vinnie wants to run for office, it's like, oh no, you can threaten people and you can do this and make promises you'll plan on keep. It's like, well, that's not how it works. Carter's really teaching people how life really works, prepping them for the future, being honest with them about how certain things work, especially like relationship dynamics. Episodes about the girls, episodes about gossip, the one girl pretending to be pregnant and why she does that. There's tons of this stuff that's kind of layered in there around even Carter himself, his relationship with his wife. Do they want to have a kid? They don't want to have a kid. What do they want to do with the future? That kind of thing. So I think it's really one of those underrated shows that we don't think about much from that era, and it really did shape us a lot more than I thought. Because as watching these episodes, I realized, oh, this was a life lesson. This was a moral lesson. This was a life lesson played up in this comedy that it didn't feel that way. They weren't like looking at you at home and going, "Oh, you people." It was more like, let's just talk to this kid about what's going on in their life. Therefore, you would see the life lesson. You would want to apply that in your own life for better or for worse. So, Gabe Kaplan is just fantastic as Carter. Like there with that crazy afro that he has and giant mustache, there being this crazy Jew talking back and forth with these kids, talking to them about all sorts of different things, trying to make them understand things that they should or shouldn't do. I just it's so Underrated. I think underrated is the best word for it. And I hope that you're excited over the fact that there's physical media drop. Some of you probably never even heard of the show, let alone actually watched it. But let me just say this: there's a ton of this stuff that I would love to see drop on physical media, so it can't be ever taken from us. Sure, it's on Tubi right now, but it's not. And it's not that this show would ever be like in the category of being canceled, but I could also see them not liking the show, the way they handle relationships, where they handle females, where they handle race, where they handle things. This would be the kind of things I could see it getting trigger warnings or just not being released, things like that. I want to see more of this. I want to see Love Boat and Dallas and all these different shows that we grew up on, like the Jeffersons, art, Soap. Oh my gosh, Soap. Oh, Soap is way more extreme than Welcome Back, Kotter. But the value of the writing, which I hope if you watch, even watch an episode on Tubi, just get a feel for how dense the writing is. It just moves so quickly with like one little conflict of characters and stuff we're going to do, and then gags that are kind of distributed across all the cast, things like that. I want to also give credit to Ron Palillo because he's so beautifully captured this nerd character. Because there are episodes where he'll crack a joke. He's not cracking a joke at someone's expense. He's cracking a joke to kind of be the class clown to get the attention. And there'll be these pauses, and then he'll laugh. It really captures how most kids behave. They want to be the center of attention. They want to be important. They want friends. They want things like that. And it really is done well because there are scenes where he's obviously being picked on. He's little. He's whatever. But then it's also balanced against, oh, we actually like this kid. He's funny, whatever. Yeah, it's great. Great stuff. So, anyways, that's my take on it. Hopefully you're excited as well.
Thank you for tuning in. We hope to